You know, this place may be covered in water, but my God, it might as well be a desert because there is just not enough to drink. There's nothing out here to drink. It's literally a desert out here. Now, what I'm doing out here, I'm trying to survive out here for 3 days. I'm on the first day, and you know, I feel quite scared. You know, it's not night time yet. I've been out here for a few hours, and you know, I'm very kind of anxious about this water. You know, you fall into the water, you could die, and there's not really anyone around to save you. So I was going to see how it goes, take it, you know, a bit at a time. My mouth's already dry, but I'm not having any liquid inside me. Okay, so basically I'm in the sea, in the English Channel. I'm already feeling weak, I'm feeling a bit sick as well. So my plan out here is to try to survive. Now, quite a bad thing about the sea compared to many other environments, say up in a mountain, say over, even in a desert, you know, there are markers of the geography. You know, in a desert, depending on the desert, it may be quite hard. But you know, like if you find a tree, you see a tree in the distance, you see a sand dune in the distance, you know where you are from there. If you're on a mountain, you got very good markers of locations. Out in the sea, there's no markers. Everywhere looks the same in every direction. So you kind of got to be aware of that. So kind of the main thing you need to be aware of is kind of the orientation, you know, your north, south, east and west. If you know that, and you know where the landmass should be from there, then that's your best bet. Like, it's literally hopeless to try to fight, you know, the sea. You know, the tide's going in and out, you can't fight it. Oh. Oh, it's like a yawn and a moan of pain. Oh. Oh. Oh, oh. There we go. This will act as a fishing line. Using a can lid. Let's see if I can. Everything's taking me ages because I feel so sick. Oh, I feel nauseous from just. Ugh. Very, very cold. Let's see what happens tonight. I can't see. It must be the middle of the night now. And I just feel terrible still. I must be in the middle of the night and I still feel terrible. It's not so bad when you're just lying down, but then once you start trying to film stuff with a camera, that's when it starts to kind of kick back in, the seasickness. What I've tried to do is stay quite central in the dinghy, and that'll kind of minimise how much movement there is, because most of the movement is all around the edges, but that does make a difference on a dinghy this small. I've had some sleep, which would be nice. Other than that, I feel absolutely terrible. The temperature has taken a turn for the worse as well. It is absolutely freezing cold. The wind takes the heat out of you. The sea air just takes the heat out of you. To kind of get some more light. Use these glow sticks to get me. My only plan now is to just try to survive the night and try to stay warm enough. I'm absolutely soaking wet. Despite not even having been inside the water, I'm still soaking wet. Just from the sea air and just from water just constantly splashing its way in, it does soak you through. There might be a leak on this thing, I don't know. But there's got a fair bit of water inside here. I'm very concerned. If I do vomit, I will lose vital liquid out of my system, which I can't afford to do with no kind of water intake at the moment. I do need to keep hold of any liquid I have in my body already. Oh god. The only shot I really have are my clothes and a bit of plastic. You know, my heat loss areas or my heat loss zones really at the moment are like my feet and my face. So a lot of my heat is just dissipate. Sorry, it's getting cold. Dissipating from, and it is absolutely freezing out here. There's an American who survived, I think, many months out on a boat without any food or water, and he survived because he managed to stay on top of his boat the whole time. Once you're in the water, that's when mass will be in this situation. It'll be the British landmass. Obviously I consider landmass. I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna take my dinghy out a billion miles out in the middle of nowhere. Like, you need it a safe distance away, you know, gotta be safe. Yeah, I'm freezing, so I'm gonna try to get some more sleep, and I'm going to also, if I can, when the sun does come out, I'm going to use it to get myself dry and warm again. Kind of bathe in the sun like a lizard will, or a snake will, as they can't regulate their own temperature. At the moment I'm struggling to regulate my own temperature, so I've got to take a kind of leaf out of a lizard's books. It's less salty than seawater, which means that more water is used to get rid of the seawater than the seawater you're drinking. This causes dehydration and kidney failure. Some people say that it's possible to drink up to about 32 ounces of seawater a day, but I don't know. it may do harm to you, and it may do damage to your kidneys. You know, I think to drink 32 ounces of seawater, you really do need some fresh water at hand to kind of like dilute it, sort of ratios. Yeah, so even like salt water will cling to your lips, like the sea air, salt water. You know, you lick your lips, you're gonna make yourself more thirsty. So I try to avoid licking my lips, but I feel like I have to lick my lips because they're so dry. It feels like they're being damaged. So it's kind of like the balance between, you know, a bit of pain here. Nobody ever dies from having dry lips, versus trying to minimise your kind of salt intake, no matter how small. It's kind of risk and reward, you know. The tongue's very absorbent and it will absorb the salt. You know, salt in blood is, I think, 0.9%. Seawater is 2.1%. So you can see the big difference there. It's like almost double the amount of salt in seawater than there is in your own blood. Also, drinking urine, don't drink it. It's salty. It's not worth it. You know, it's got, you know, you're just reingesting salt from your kidneys. It's reingesting salt that your kidney has been trying to eliminate. So it's best not to drink seawater. No. You shouldn't drink your urine either, because really what you're doing is reinjecting. I'm about to take off all my gear. Because everything I'm wearing feels so itchy. Oh my god, it's so itchy. You know, when you hear about people being seasick, you think, it's a bit weak. But that's, you know, maybe that's because they're on a boat. They're normally on like a large, decent sized boat, and it's only slightly moving, and they're on it for like a half hour, an hour and a half most. This is the second day I've been on this same dinghy. It's a small inflatable dinghy. It's constantly moving because it is small and it's inflatable, and it's just the motion sickness. You just constantly move, like non-stop. Imagine being on land and, like, I don't know, you're just constantly unsteady, you're constantly being moved around. So that feels like, and it's just absolutely torn my stomach apart. If you did ever want to be rescued out here, you can always use the back of a phone to catch the light. And create a signal. If you do it in patterns of 3, so it's repeating, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because humans are kind of trained to see patterns and then work to see it as non-natural if it's patterned. See, I'm absolutely fucking knackered after being at sea. I'm absolutely shattered. It's just the seasickness is just non-stop. So I've got myself a source of water, almost accidentally. So inside this plastic top there was seawater, and now you can see all these droplets at the top must have evaporated and condensed. So what I'm going to do is cut it open and lick the droplets. It's not a lot, but it's good. Now it's right like a soda still. So yeah, I'm going to just go into it and get some liquid. That tasted nice and fresh. That tasted so bloody nice and fresh. Hey, so I want to do some fishing. I don't have any fishing line or fishing equipment. I want to go very improvised stuff which you can find out in the sea or on your boat, like in the water or on the beach. So what you see a lot are tin cans floating around sometimes. I've got my shoes as well. What I want to do is make a fishing line out of my shoelaces, and then I'm also going to make a hook from some can lids. So it's going to take my shoes off. Like so. Literally, like back this time last year, 6 people died in the space of 24 hours in complete different tragedies. This time last year, 6 people died in the space of 24 hours in like different tragedies around of Britain on the coastline. This is back on the 22nd of August 2016. Even so, like last month in July, 2 part-time sailors did drown over in Donegal. You know, they're used to the sea, but some unexpected rough conditions unfortunately took their lives. You know, they were good conditions when they went out, but they got worse as the evening went on. So you really got to be careful about what you're doing. You got to have your safety equipment with you. You got to have your head screwed on. But a lot of the time, if it gets worse to a point, there's not a lot you can do.